Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I was asked a question that I thought I would answer for you guys and girls. And they asked me, and I actually haven't seen Elgin's video on this. I am friends with Elgin online, we get along fine, we watch each other's stuff. But I haven't actually seen the video where he said this, so I don't know for a fact he said this. So Elgin, if you didn't say it, don't get upset, bro. But they said that he has said that the top CrossFitters don't actually do CrossFit. They don't actually do the regular workout of the days. They don't train always at a CrossFit box the same way the other people do. If they do their own training usually. And people ask me, is that true? Well, it's interesting because I actually have an aunt who does the CrossFit games. She does quite well. I mean, she's not at the top levels of it, but for her age class, she does exceptionally well. She's 63 years old, but she deadlifts 250 pounds without a belt, and she Olympic squats 205 pounds without a belt at 63. So she's not doing too bad. So we can't say CrossFit has harmed her in any way, because she is completely injury-free in her training, and she's hitting numbers like that in her 60s, has great blood work, fantastic health. So for her, irrespective of how a lot of people, we like to make fun of CrossFit sometimes online, the one example I have of someone in my family who does CrossFit, I can have to say it's only been a positive for her. I'm seeing nothing but positive things to her as a result of having done it. So that just is what it is. But she's also at a very, very good box that actually seems to have really good coaches, and that makes all the difference. But that being said, she does train regular CrossFit. She does the workout of the days. But if you go look at logs on the internet, in general, Elgin is right. You look at guys like Rich Froning and these different people, their training methods, they follow their own special training program specifically to prepare for the CrossFit Games. They're not doing the regular CrossFit. Any more than if you had someone who's an NFL player, doesn't mean if you go to a football boot camp for the lay people that you're going to do the same workout and training that the NFL player does. Of course you don't. You wouldn't be expected to. They wouldn't write it that way. It's going to be different for the general populace versus the top level athletes in anything. And Rich Froning doesn't even eat paleo. So what do these people do? Well, they do specialized training. They come in and they do specialized strength work. They probably do more strength training than the average CrossFit gym. And then all of their conditioning work isn't really GPP work. It's normally just wide varieties of GPP work in CrossFit because that's what they do. They want to be non-specialist specifically. Well, these people specialize. They pick the GPP work that matches the events. They train specifically for the events that they know are going to be there. Now, the events are going to be random to some extent, but when anyone goes into it, they can pull a list of about 12 events if they train for those 12 events specifically and actually do those in training and build up their work capacity and their strength at those specific events as their primary focus, they will have a better chance of winning. And even there's going to be a couple of wild cards they haven't trained for. Those things will give them enough carryover that it won't matter. So the same rule applies. It applies to all of your other training. And that rule is training specificity is king. So they train specifically for the events that they know they're going to be competitive at. And they do not rely upon cross training in order to get good at them. So these people are not necessarily following the actual philosophy of CrossFit, the ones who are winning. They're following the philosophy of every other successful athlete in the world, and that is to train specifically for what you need to be good at and do a little bit of cross-training to hopefully bridge the gap on anything else. So is Elgin right? Yes, Elgin's absolutely right. And if you go all over the internet and start looking up the individual specific athletes and what they've said in interviews and what their training logs and things look like up on the internet, you will find that that is how they train. They don't train CrossFit per se. They train specifically for the CrossFit Games. All right, guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.